in 2015, Stanford student Brock Turner raped an unconscious woman on the Stanford campus. There were 2 other Stanford students that came across this crime, and Brock Turner was trying to get away, ran away, but the 2 students were able to track him down and hold him down until, you know, some law enforcement officers showed up and, you know, arrested him. So he was tried, he was convicted, he was facing 14 years, a maximum of 14 years in prison. The prosecutors had suggested or recommended 6 years in prison. The judge presiding over the case ultimately sentenced Turner to 6 months in prison, of which 3 he actually served because of good behavior. He got out in 3 months, right? So many people were just livid from this decision. Livid that somebody that raped a woman, an unconscious woman, only got 3 months in prison, right? So that judge was Santa Clara County Superior Judge Aaron Persky. And after that decision, there was a massive recall effort to get him off the bench. Well, that recall effort proved to be successful on Tuesday, as I believe 60% of voters approved of ousting him. And so he became the first California judge in 86 years to be recalled.
Wasn't it like over 1 million people? Like 1 point something, 1.3? It was a lot.
Well, that signed the
that signed the petition. It was
right.
like 1.3, 1.5 million.
I believe it was 1.3. It was over 1 million people that signed that petition to actually get it on the ballot so people can vote on it.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
They wanted him out. They wanted him out, man.
Yeah, because I mean, his job as a judge is to, you know, I wouldn't say I would say be an advocate for victims.
Yeah.
Victims of crime, all crime, be an advocate.
You're part of
the
justice system.
You're part of the justice system.
Yeah.
But I guess the sentence he handed down, I guess considered what damage was going to be done to Turner, and not what damage was done to the victim. And he explicitly stated this.
He did.
During sentencing, he said it was going to damage Turner. So I think right there, he outed himself. He didn't have to say that. He could have bent over backwards like he did to help Turner get a reduced sentence without saying that. But the fact that he made that explicit, kind of, he put himself on blast. You know
like why would you, in this kind of case, why would your concern be for the one that's guilty of raping a woman? Like, your concern shouldn't be with him, it should be with the victim, just like you said.
Yeah, it should be based on the damage Turner did to another person, not the damage the sentencing would do to him.
Right. The whole reason for sentencing him is to punish him for what he did.
And even his parents, Turner's parents, still were complaining about the lenient 6-month sentence. They still had a complaint.
There were 2 women that were aiming to replace Judge Persky. San Jose attorney Angela Story and Santa Clara County Assistant District Attorney Cindy Hendrickson. So the key difference between these 2 women were that Angela Story was not supportive of the recall effort, but Cindy Hendrickson was supportive of the recall effort. So guess who won? Cindy Hendrickson. And it was by a wide margin that she won. I believe when I last saw it, she was at 70% of the vote. So she's going to be the new, Santa Clara County Superior Judge.
Yeah, the one that was kind of in support of Persky said that, like, judges shouldn't be, I guess, subject to recalls.
She didn't offer her opinion on whether the sentence was correct or not. All she said was that it's kind of setting up a slippery slope here, because if judges are looking over their shoulders at the populace, at the citizens, and letting that kind of guide them on sentencing, then that shouldn't be the case, because they should be independent. And in cases, okay, so this is another argument as well. In cases where the defendant actually deserves mercy, the judge may be not inclined, they may not be inclined to actually show that defendant mercy because of public backlash, but because of public outrage.
Yes, I see where she is going, but who ultimately does the judge serve? Who is the judge actually accountable to?
The people.
The people. So I don't think that totally squashes that argument, but I don't feel sorry for a civil servant who has to, who feels that trying to appeal to the greater nature of society is looking over their shoulder. Like, to put it like that makes it sound like they're not supposed to be accountable to the public in the first place.
Right.
But I don't think public opinion in and of itself created this for Persky. I think the fact that he came out and said that this would affect Turner's life, it would damage him. That's why.
That's what swayed.
I think his specific case. I think we have to, I guess, be careful in trying to argue about this as if this doesn't have to do with this specific case and this specific judge. And if another judge kind of articulates himself after he reduces the sentence, that judge should be up for a recall too.
See, I agree with you. And see, I don't buy the excuse of it setting up a slippery slope and that judges should be independent thinkers and not let public outrage affect them. The whole reason I believe that is because, again, Judge Persky is the first judge in 86 years in California to be recalled. So it's not like this is like a wave of judges being recalled. And then the second thing is that the specific case that I guess sparked public outrage was because of a rapist. If you're going to say that this is going to cause judges to say, well, I can't be lenient on this particular defendant, well, we got to look at what the defendant did. If the defendant is a rapist, then no, I'm sorry, they don't deserve mercy. And the prosecutors didn't even suggest the maximum. So they were even, like I said, I guess, aware of maybe this crime not, being about, I guess, seeking the maximum sentence for this particular defendant. They said 6 years. So if the judge said it at 6 years, or even if he went to 5 years, 4 years, whatever the case, it would still been a substantial penalty for the crime. He didn't deserve mercy. He didn't deserve 6 months, even though it was within the law. The judge was within the law to do that. But he wasn't a defendant that deserved mercy.
And considering how kind of Brock Turner felt about his deeds, he didn't deserve mercy. And according to how his own father described the situation too. So there's all kinds of elements of this story, and not just public outrage.